Yeah. So I think who have missed yesterday's class, I have explained the variables in a very detailed way. That is what we have been discussed yesterday. So today we are going to discuss about the constructor topic. So this interview preparation batch is not only about the, just answering the questions, or these are the questions you would be expecting in the interview. It's not like that. We explain the concept. Okay, we explain the concept and we discuss the interview questions about that particular concept. Okay, that will make you more strong and confidence. If they ask these type of questions, how do I answer? Okay, in the same way, you are understanding the concept also in from this perspective as well. Got it, team? So that is all about the SDET interview preparation batch. Now let's get into the constructor. Okay, fine. We have learned about the variables, we have learned about the data types, and now about the constructors. Okay, so what do you mean by the constructors? What do you mean by the constructors? Okay,
It is
so
used to, sorry, it is used to initialize class.
okay, it is easy to initialize the class. That is okay. Okay, so constructor here you already have the method. Okay, see, constructor is like a similar to constructor is like a method, right? Whatever you write inside the constructor, that will be executed. So system.out.println, you have here Priyanka session. This is a method. This is a method. Okay, so this is a method. Okay, I'll delete everything. So this is a method. So you have the method. Okay. So, and why again constructor Java has been used? See, you already have a method. If you want to write some code inside the method, you call by using the object name. So that method will call and these will be executed in the console. This has been there. This has been expected. Why Java again created the constructor? Why again constructor? Because if you want to execute something, you already have a method. Why again constructor is like, constructor is a special method in Java. Constructor is a special method in Java that runs automatically when you create an object. When you create an object, the constructor will be executed. The constructor will be executed. Got it, guys? So you do not need to call the constructor manually. Automatically it will be executed. Automatically it will be executed. Okay, where is the constructor here? This is the constructor. This is the constructor basically. Okay, so now let's come to the constructor definition. Constructor is a special method in Java that runs automatically when you create a object. That runs automatically when you create a object. So there are, like, three rules in a constructor. First rule is like constructor name, class name should be same. So that is the reason I am creating the constructor. Constructor name, class name should be same. So my class name is this one. So that is the reason I am creating the constructor also with this one. Constructor name, class name should be same. Okay. Constructor should be able to take the parameters. What do you mean by parameters? See here, int A, this is one parameter. Int B, this is another parameter. Constructor should be able to take the parameter. So that is the reason I am giving this parenthesis here. Constructor should be able to take the parameters. And constructor should not give any return type. Not even void. Not even void. Constructor do not give any return type. Okay. So that is a constructor here. Okay. That is a constructor. Okay. See. Okay, that is a constructor here. Okay, so now we understood that constructor name, class name should be same. Constructor should be able to take the parameters, and constructor will be executed in the process of object creation. In the process of object creation, the constructor will be executed here. Okay, in the process of object creation, the constructor will be executed here. Okay, so this is a usage of the constructor. Why already the method is there? Why again the constructor is like, if you want to call the method, you have to call explicitly. Means you have to create an object and then by using the method name you have to call, then only this method will be executed. Whereas constructor, if you just create an object, in the process of object creation, if I'm telling here, it is redirecting here. This is a constructor. In the process of object creation, the constructor will be executed automatically. So there is no explicitly, you no need to call the constructor in Java here. Got it? Got it, guys? Got it? So that is a usage of, and that is the reason why the constructor has been come up in Java. Okay, that is the reason why the constructor has come up in the Java. And then you have two constructors. What is the first constructor? Default constructor. What do you mean by the default constructor, Priyanka? Is like, let's say in a class, I did not create any constructor. I did not create any constructor. But Priyanka told that in the process of object creation, the constructor will be executed. But here, no constructor. So do we get any error here? No. Then what you will do, Java compiler, when it is executing, it will first load the class. Okay. After that, it will come to the main method. So Priyanka has created an object. Here, constructor will be executing. Right? It will come here. No constructor. When there is no constructor, Java compiler will think that Priyanka did not create any constructor here. Let me create the constructor, default constructor here. Let me create the default constructor here. That default constructor, how it will be there is like, the default constructor is like zero argument constructor. The default constructor is a like this. It will be in this way. Like zero arguments constructor means non-parameterized constructor. Empty implementation means no implementations will be there here. Means nothing will be printed here. Got it, guys? That is called as a default constructor. Got it?
Yes, Priyanka.
Okay. So now this is a default constructor. Let's say, no, Priyanka, I want to create constructor. Okay, you create a constructor. Okay, you create a constructor and then you keep something in this constructor. Okay, what is this, Priyanka? Cons session. Okay, so now if I create this constructor, so what it will happen? So when you create the constructor, so now if I execute, what it will print here? What it is printing
Priyanka's
here?
cons session.
Priyanka con session, it is been printing. It is not printing the Priyanka session. Why? Because it is a method. Method you have to call explicitly. Please come and execute. I have to call new obj.m1. Then only Priyanka session will be printed. Or else it will just print Priyanka con session. That's it. Okay. So that is the main importance of the constructor. Constructor will be executed in the process of object creation. No need to call explicitly by using the object name. Got it in? Okay. So when Priyanka has created the constructor, then Java compiler will not create. When Priyanka does not created any constructor, then Java compiler will be creating the constructor. Got it? And the default constructor, as I told, right, that is a zero argument constructor. What do you mean by zero argument constructor? Is like, here, see, here I have written some implementation, system.Priyanka const session. This is the implementation I have created here. Okay. But here, no implementation. Here, no implementation. Zero arguments constructor here. Okay. Zero arguments constructor here. Okay. So no arguments and no implementations. This will be your constructor. Okay. See, now I will be executing here. So nothing will be printed in the console. Because you're not even calling the method, it is calling the constructor, default constructor. But default constructor has no implementations, empty implementations. Got it? If there is empty implementations, then why it is calling the default constructor, Priyanka, is like, this is the object creation. In the process of object creation, the constructor will be executed. Okay, when the constructor is executed, sometimes you don't create the constructor. So Java will be created on behalf of you, the default constructor here. Got it?
Yes, Priyanka.
Yeah. So let's repeat again. Constructor name, class name should be same. Constructor should not able to take the parameters. Constructor able to take the parameters. Constructor should not return any type. Okay. Constructor should not have any return type. That is what means with the constructor. Okay. So what exactly the usage of constructor, Priyanka? Okay, you are creating an object. In the process of object creation, constructor has been executing. That's okay. So what else the usage of constructor? Constructor usage is to initialize the variables also. Initialize the variables also. So let's say I have created here int name. This is my This is my, what variable is this one? Instance, static, local?
Instance variable.
Instance variables. Okay, this is the instance variable. So this is my instance variable. Am I declaring any value to this? No, I'm not declaring any value to this. So where can I declare the value? So I will come to this instance. See, I am giving here uh, int n. Okay, I'm just giving one name. What is this variable? This is local variable because you are creating inside the method, right? This is a local variable. So for the local variable, I'm giving this name. Okay, int name. Okay, so wait, let me create this one. Let me create the constructor. Okay, so int n. Okay, this is a local variable. N equal to name I'm giving here. Okay, this is what. Okay, so now system dot out dot print ln of name. I'm giving it here. Okay, now that is what it has been there. Now I'm calling the constructor here. Okay. Second.
One doubt is integer name.
One second. So this is the string name. Let's keep, and then this is the int age. I'll come to your questions, guys. Just be on hold. So string name and then int age is there. This is the constructor. Okay, this is the constructor. So int age it is there. So I'll take like here. I'll take like here the string n. So what is the string n comma int a is nothing but these are all inside the constructor, inside the block, inside the method, whatever variables you create. This is the local variables. Okay. So we are assigning for the local to the instance. Local to the instance here. Okay. So name equal to n. Okay. Here. And then again what you are doing here, age equal to a you are giving here. Okay. If these kind of formats only you can see in your framework. Age equal to you are giving here. Okay. So you are initializing the variable here. You are initializing the variable. Previously, these variables are been there. These variables are like just given, but you did not initialize. You are been initializing here inside the constructor. Initializing here the constructor. Name equal to n. But n is not having any value here. A is also not having any value. You are just giving here. So now what you are doing here? What you're doing here, you go to the constructor. See, constructor is getting error. What? Add argument to match this one. So you have the constructor. Constructor is expecting two parameters. One is string and one is int a. So string, I will give it as a Priya. And one more thing, number, I will give it as a 10. I give it as a 10 here. Okay. I give it as a 10 here. So now I'll create like, one more method. Void display. Okay. Void display. I'll create one method here. Okay. Void display. I'll create one method. So system dot out dot println of what name and age. Okay, you're printing the name and the age. So I'll call the new obj dot display method. Okay, now I'll execute and I'll show you. What you're getting, Priya, 10. Okay, so what exactly it is doing is like I'm creating two instance variables. Done. So I told that constructor is will be executed in the process of object creation. But one more usage of constructor is to initialize the variables. Okay, you have initialized instance variable. You have been initialized in the constructor. Okay, see here string n int a is there. In the process of in the constructor execution, you have given the Priya 10. So when you call this method, then it will be taking like here Priya and the 10 here. Okay. So this is how you can use the constructor for the initializing the instance variables as well. Initializing the instance variables as well, you can use it. Got it, guys? Initializing the instance variables, you can use it. Let's say, okay, Priyanka, why we need the constructor. Without constructor also you can initialize the variables means, yes, that is correct. But if you want like, if you want to give like, with a multiple name and age, so what you can do, you can create multiple constructors in Java. Okay, you can create multiple constructors in the class, but the object name should be different. See now here, I can give like, instead of Priya, I can give an here Mohan. Okay, I can give here class. This is what I can give it here. Okay, so here you are here you're not repeating the same lines of code again and again. Okay, so you can assign n number of things here with the constructor. No duplications. If there is no constructor, then how you used to do? If there is no constructor, then how you used to do? Then let's say if there is no constructor, if there is no constructor, then how you used to do here? So I'll remove this one as no constructor. So then how you used to do new obj dot new obj dot new obj dot name equal to Priya. Okay, new obj dot int equal to 10. Sorry, age equal to 10. Okay, so this is what again you have to give here, again the same thing here, again the same thing, again new obj1 dot name equal to Priya, new obj1 dot age equal to 10. So here the n number of lines, it is been like, the code is been duplicating here. Yes or no? See, n number of lines here, again new obj2. Okay, so this has been there here. So are we repeating number of lines here if there is no constructor? Do you agree this one? So this is called duplicate code, repeated code. If your class have a five variables, or then you have to repeat five assignments. Let's say now you have only two variables. Let's say you have a five variables like class, age, roll number. Then five times you have to repeat these one. Huh? Now you
Yes.
got the importance of this constructor. Yes. Let's say you have int age, int roll number. Okay, int roll number you have, and then you have like string college. You have this one. Okay, int roll number, and then string capital S, string college you have. So you have like these many variables. So again you have to write new obj dot roll number, new obj dot college. So the kind of the code repetition will be there here. Okay, the kind of code repetition will be there here. So instead of that, what you can do, you can create a constructor here. You can create a constructor here, and then here you can give it like, you can give it whatever we have given just now. String n, int a, again int b, again string a, something. Okay, then again you can assign these one here. Okay, you can assign these things here. Okay, you can assign like, assign name equal to n, you can assign, and then age equal to what, age equal to a, you can assign, and then roll number equal to b, you can assign here. Okay, and then college equal to k, you can assign here. Okay, now no need to repeat the code. So what we'll be doing, one second. Okay. So now what we can do in one constructor. Okay. In one constructor, what we'll be doing here? In one constructor, I will be giving the name Priya. Okay. And name Priya, I'll be giving here. And also I'll be giving comma. And then next it is asking age 20, I'll give. Okay. So then I'll give like, roll number 1. And then here I'll give string is like, something. Okay, so this is what I can give it to you. Why I'm getting error?
because of variable type.
हाँ. Okay. One second. Int a. So age equal to a, I can give. And then next int roll number. So I can give int b. Okay, comma. So roll number equal to b, I can give. And then next is string college, right? So yeah.
You are giving the numbers in double quotes. That's why I mean.
Acha, 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 acha. Sorry. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah. So number in double quotes. Now this would be there. Got it, team? Sorry, I forgot. And thank you. So this is what the usage of the constructor. So generally people will be telling in the interview, constructor means like, class name should be same. That is also okay. Parameters able to take. That is also okay. And should not have any return type. That is also okay. So still what else you can tell? Constructor can be able to initialize the instance variables. Okay. Initialize the instance variable. When you create a framework, initially you create a variables, but you're not sure about the values. When you're not sure about the values, so then you can create it the kind of the constructor. Today you want to give Priya, tomorrow you want to give a Priyanka, some different name. So that flexibility you have here. So you're not having the code duplication here. Got it, team? That is the flexibility of the constructor here, right? Okay. So people will tell that, constructor should not able to take the return type. Constructor should not able to take the return type. Okay. So this is clear. This is clear.
Yes, Priyanka.
Yeah. Dinesh, it's clear. Okay. Okay. Raise your hands if you're not clear, guys. Okay. Raise your hands kindly. Okay. Thank you. So, okay. This has been clear. So now let's take like one more thing. So many people will tell that, um, yes, Deepika, what is your question? Yes, Deepika, what is your question? Deepika, you there? Okay, fine. Okay.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
So can we call instance method inside the constructors?
Can we call
Instance method inside the constructor?
inside the constructor? That's a very good question. Now let's see. Okay. So now I'm deleting all these things. So So, instance method. This is the instance method. Okay. So, what I told you through our overall the Java, you have to understand two things. Instance means object. So, this is the instance method. Okay. Instance method have to call. How do you call the instance methods? Instance method you have to call by using the object creation. Okay.
Yes.
By using object, you have to call the instance method. So, I can call new obj dot display. That is one you have to call in the instance method. Okay. Inside the constructor, can we call the instance method? That is a good question. But inside, how the constructor will be executed? First, how the constructor will be executed? Constructor will be executed only in the process of object creation. Yes or no?
Yes.
Constructor will be executed in the process of object creation. So first you need to have an object. Then only you will call the constructor. Okay. So you can't take like, this, you can't create this object inside the constructor. Okay, new obj dot m1, you cannot do this. This is not a good practice. You got my point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we call display directly instead?
Huh?
Can we call that display method instead directly?
No, you have to call by using the object name only. See, you're asking about in this way? No, you have to call by using the object name only.
Yeah. So can we call this display method inside this constructor?
No, that's what I'm telling. You have to call the display method by using the object creation.
Okay.
Okay, so you can't create an object in the constructor. The object creation should be happening only in the main method. Okay, only in the main method. So when you have an object in the main method, by using the object, you can call the display method. Got it?
Yeah. But I think we can call the display method directly without having the object since it is in the same class.
You can call the display method directly.
Yeah.
How?
Can you paste that inside the constructor and see?
These line?
No, just display. Just display. Yeah.
Huh. So now what it will be doing? You are creating an object. In the process of creating an object, this constructor will be executed. So
Yes.
inside the constructor, now this method execution will be happening. In
Yes.
this case, it will work. Let me execute. You got this one? Thank you
Yeah.
for the good question.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now you
You
guys
explained
got
it very nice, ma'am. Thank you.
yeah. So this you got a clarity, team. So what you have to understand is like every time two things you have to understand. Constructor will be executed in the process of object creation. So in the object creation, here it will go to the constructor. Inside the constructor, what it has been there? Display method, it is there. So it has been executing. Okay. So Priyanka, you told that by using object only we have to call the display method. So I am calling the display method. Okay. So when I'm creating an object, memory will be allocated to the method. So you can call this method because you are in the same class. Got it, team? I repeat again, you have created a constructor here. In the process of creating a constructor, so it will come to the main method, it will execute here. So it will see like, yay, display method has been there. So let's go to the display method and it will print the instance method here. Got it? So no mandatory that you have to call like, new obj.display. No, because you're already in the same class. When you create an object, the memory will be allocated to the instance method and this method will get a life and then you can call it here. This is also can be done. Yeah. Yes, Deepika? Yes, Deepika, if you're talking, we can't hear you. Okay. Okay, fine. So this is the all about the constructors. Okay. So constructor told like, you should not written any method type, right? Constructor should not have any return type. So let's say I have given for my constructor void. So then what? Java will treat this as a constructor or still what Java will treat this as a constructor. So now I have created for my constructor. Constructor name, class name should be same. Okay, constructor should be able to take the parameters. That is what I have given. But I have only excluded one rule. What is that? Constructor should not have a return type. But I have given the return type as a void. So now compiler will now in the process of object creation, constructor will be executed. Now this will be executed according to Java. Now this is considered as a constructor or what?
Method,
Method. Why method?
because void is used.
Because void is used. Void is a
Return
return
type.
type. So when Java, see, now I will be executing, guys. See, now I'll execute. Nothing is printed in the console. Why, Priyanka? You in the process of object creation, constructor will be executed, right? Here the constructor is there. This is not a constructor because you have done the void. When you give the void, Java will consider it as a method name. Okay, then how do we call this method name? We have to call explicitly new obj dot what? New obj.sdt interview preparation batch. So then this method will be executed. Okay. And one more question you may get. Okay, Priyanka, then no constructor. So you're calling the constructor, but you did not create any constructor. Then what it will be executed? Then Priyanka has not created any constructor in the class. Then Java compiler will create the default constructor in the JVM. That zero argument constructor and then zero implementations constructor. Got it, team?
Yes, Priyanka.
Yeah, okay. So can we have a multiple constructors in Java? Can we have a multiple constructors in Java?
Yes.
Yes. So this is my one constructor. Okay. Now this is considered as a constructor. Okay. This is one constructor. This is constructor one. Okay. And next is constructor two. Okay. This is the constructor two. Okay. You can create multiple constructor, but Java keeping one condition. What is a condition is like you create multiple constructor, but each constructor should not be, both constructors should not be same. Both constructors should not be same. Right? Okay. Let me tell you one example. How do I see now? Both the constructors is there for the end user. If you want to use this constructor, see, this is like, parameters int a. This is like, the, not like, parameterized, non-parameterized constructor and parameterized constructor. Okay. From the end user perspective, if both is having the same constructor, what is the use? Nothing, right? But if you create this as a int a, if you create this as a zero parameterized constructor, then that will be useful, right? Because from the end user, if you want to use this constructor, then what he will do, he'll give 10. At that time, this constructor will be executed. No, I want to use this constructor. Then he will not give the value here, parameters. Then that time this constructor will be there. So you can create multiple constructors in Java, but it both should not be the same. The parameters should be different. The parameter should be different. Let's say if I give here int a, that is also will get exception. Why? Because Java will think that Priyanka, you have created int a already. End user, if you want to use this, he'll give it as a 10. And again, you are creating the same constructor with the int a. What is the use? End user want to use like, one parameter with the integer, which is already there. So you please change the data type. What is the data type? Change please to Boolean at least. Then Java will think that, okay, if the end user want to use integer, he'll call this constructor. If the end user want to use the Boolean, then he'll call this constructor. So from the end user perspective, you want to give n number of options, not like same constructor. Got it? Okay. So in that case, you can create multiple constructors in the Java. See, int a, comma, int b, like this. Okay. Okay, guys.
Yes, Priyanka.
Yeah. Now what is output? What is the output we will be getting here? So what is output here? So I am calling here, this constructor will tell that please call the 10. 10 means single parameter constructor which is taking the 10. So here it will go and it will print the cons 1. Okay. And next it is printing, we are calling one more constructor 10, 1. So in this constructor, one of the constructor should accept two integers. So this is a, b. So then it will print cons 1. So this constructor will not be executed because you are not calling this constructor. Got it, team?
Yes.
Yeah. Hmm? So these are the interview questions you might expect in the interview, like, what are the constructors can be called and everything here. Okay. Now,
Explain copy constructor.
yeah, we'll come to that. Now come to the next point. Can you call the constructor in the same class? Can you call the constructor in the same class?
No.
No. Okay, fine. I'll tell you how. So now you have two constructors. Okay, this is non-parameterized constructor, and this is the parameterized constructor. This is the parameterized constructor. Okay, you have two constructors. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to call first these one. Means let's say I have here WebDriver initialization. I have here WebDriver initialization, and here I have the maximize the screen or something. So I want to execute first this constructor. Okay, and then I want to execute these constructor. So how can we do that? Don't tell that, okay, Priyanka, let's call first this one and let's go here and give like 10. So that only will be executed. This is can be done, but you are unnecessarily you are creating one more object, right? You are creating unnecessarily one more object, and your code line, one more line is also increasing. This is not a good practice. So then what is a good practice here?
Can we use super to call the above?
No. How do you use the super keyword? You use the this keyword. This keyword is used to call the current class constructor. This keyword is used to call the current class constructor. Now, what is my requirement? First, WebDriver initialization should be happen. So first, this constructor will be executed. Okay, let's say here 10 it is there. Okay, so now it will go first to this constructor. But first, I want to execute this constructor. So what I have to give? I have to just give like these here. Got it? Okay, so now what it will be happening here? Wait, let me tell it this way. Here the WebDriver initialization is happening, and here the maximize is happening. Okay, here the maximize is happening. Okay, and I have this constructor. Now this constructor is going here. Okay, before this, I want to call this WebDriver initialization. So what I have to do? I have to first it will go to this constructor, and we have to tell use this keyword. This keyword is used to call the current class constructor. This keyword is used to call the current class constructor. But this constructor is expecting one parameter, right? So you have to give the parameter 10. You have to give the parameter value here, anything. Now you got the point. So now what it will do? First the class will load. It will come to here, and then this is a constructor. So it will go here, and then before that, then it will go to the 16th one, this constructor. But on the 18th line, you have this keyword. So if you click on this keyword, see, it is going here because this is a calling the current class constructor. And my constructor is expecting one parameter. So I gave you. So this is going here. And then it will print cons 1. And then it will come to the 21st line and print the cons 2. So this is been used to call the current class constructor. Got it, Ki? Got it?
Yes, Priyanka.
Okay. This keyword is used to call the current class constructor, basically. Got it? Okay. So now what is output? Now what is output here? What is output, Priyanka? So whenever someone asks output, so do not go panic by seeing these code. Okay, then how I will do, I'll tell you the tip. How I'll be doing, same like Java compiler, first class will load. So ignore all these steps. Okay, go to main method. So here you have the object, you are creating an object. Okay, then constructor is been there. So here the constructor. You are calling which constructor which is expecting one parameter. Let's go to the constructor which is expecting one parameter. Okay. Okay, you went here. And then what is there here? Cons 1. It will print cons 1 only. It will print cons 1 only. It is not going here because it is not calling this constructor only. Got it, team? So whenever the panel asks you what is the expected output, do not rush and see these lines. Only see what is there in the main method. Got it? Got it? Got it, team? So we have discussed what are the rules of the constructor and also what you mean by how the constructor is different from a method, and how can constructor cannot return a value, like, constructor should have some name or a class. Can we have a multiple constructor? Okay, if the constructor have the return type, then what it will have? So all these things we have discussed. Okay, so I think I have one more question. Mm. Okay, so do you have a knowledge on constructor chaining, team? Constructor chaining? What do you mean by constructor chaining?
Like calling constructor within constructor.
Mm. Yeah. So calling constructor within the constructor using this keyword only. This is called as a constructor chaining. People will ask, how do you call the same constructor in a class? You call the same constructor in a class by using this keyword. When you want to one constructor to call another constructor in the same class, you use this keyword. See here, you are avoiding the code duplication. Why I am avoiding the code duplication, Priyanka, is like, see, if you want to call both the constructor, then you have to create one more object here. Unnecessarily, you are creating one more object here to call the another constructor here. Rather than that, if you use this keyword, then you are avoiding the repeating initialization code to create multiple ways of creating means you are not creating multiple ways again the same object. Okay. So, which will look like, cleaner and simpler, right? Yes or no? It will directly go to this one. So if you want to execute first this constructor and then just give this constructor. So first it will go here and then it will first, this keyword has been there. So that is the reason first it will go here and cons1 will be printed and then const2 will be printed. So this is how the constructor chaining will be used here. Got it? And rule number 1. So this keyword must be the first statements in the constructor. This keyword must be first statement inside the constructor. You can't keep this keyword here. You can't keep this keyword here. So what the exception you would be getting here? See, if you mouse over, constructor call must be the first statement in the constructor. It should not be here. Got it, team? So it should be the first statement inside the constructor. Got it? Okay, we'll talk about the super keyword up when you start with the inheritance concept here. Okay. Now one more interview question. Can we keep the constructor as final? Can someone raise your hands who want to answer this question?
No.
Wait, let me give an option to other one. Anyone, can we keep a constructor as a final? Yes, Anumita. Can we keep the constructor as a final?
No, we cannot keep constructor as a final.
Okay, very good. Why? Tell me why. When you keep the final,
Because it is a class.
because it's a what? So you get any compile time error when you give the final? What you are getting? Compile time error. Illegal
Yes.
modifier for the constructor. So only public, protected, private or permitted. Only public, protected, private or permitted. Final is not there. Final is not there. Why final is been not there? We cannot declare the constructor as final because constructors are not inherited and cannot be overridden. Okay, so the final keyword is meaningless with them. Got it, team?
Yes, got
Yes.
it.
So final key, there is no use that, final will not be allowed here, basically. Okay. So final is used to control the modification. Means like if someone, see, let's say if I given here, final int a equal to 10. Means I am declaring that, int a should be 10 only. Final, this is final. No one should allow for the modification. We are controlling the modification here. Okay, but constructor is not like that. Constructor will be executed in the process of object creation. Okay, you cannot restrict the constructor by keeping the final symbol. Got it, team? Got it? And next,
Priyanka, one doubt I have regarding the constructor only.
uh,
When we have like multiple constructor or even one constructor with parameter, so do we, I mean, is it compulsory to have uh, I mean, no argument constructor also?
no. See, here I have one constructor. Here I have a like one more constructor, int a, comma, int b. Okay. And int a, comma, int a, comma, int b here. Okay. Here I have one more constructor. Okay. Int a, int b, comma, int c you have here. Okay. So this is, you have multiple constructor. Rule number one, if you have 20 constructor, there is no rule that in the main method you have to call all the constructors. Okay. According
No. My
to the,
question is if
yeah,
we
I
remove
got
the
you. I
first
got you.
constructor.
I'm coming to your point. There is no rule that you have to call all the constructor. According to your user requirement, if you want to call these three parameterized constructor, then you have to keep 1, 2, comma 3. Okay, this is one thing. And coming to your question, is there any rule that we have to create this constructor, zero parameterized constructor, or like default constructor, right? Okay, default constructor means when there is no constructor in the class, then Java compiler, it will come to the Java compiler JVM headache that I have to create the constructor because Priyanka has not created any constructor. So I want to create one constructor here. So that time, that is JVM, Java's job. When you have the constructor, then that time she'll not taken any headache on that.
No, but my question is like if we have the parameterized constructor, but
Okay.
not default constructor, so is it valid?
You have a parameterized constructor and then tell me.
So yeah, so is it valid? I mean, without a default constructor, parameterized constructor can exist?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now next question. Can we run a Java program without creating any object? Can we run a Java program without creating any object?
No.
No. Think and answer. Can we run a Java program without creating any object?
Yes, we
Yes.
can run.
How can we do that?
If we have static method,
Very
and then
good.
we can
Very
call
good.
it.
Yes. If you have a static method, then you can create, then you can call that. Okay, this is the interviews questions, what you would be getting in that. So let's say I've created one method, void m1 method. Okay, void m1 method has been there here. Okay, this is the static method. This is a static method. So I have given here system.out.println of a. Okay, system.out.println of a I have given here. Okay, so this is what it has been there. So I don't want to create an object. So then how do you call? I call by using the class name dot m1 method. Got it, team? So in this way also you can create an object without the, so there is no need to create an object. You can directly call by using the class name. Got it?
Can we give without class name? Can we call that one like directly M1?
That you mean like, directly m1?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that. But it is not a good practice. You have to always need to call by using the class name only. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, similar question we had in like coding as assessment in the yesterday's one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now I'll just take like 10 more minutes and we'll just conclude on the static blocks and the instance blocks. Okay. Okay, Priyanka, we got an idea that, method when it is created, I have to call explicitly that method name. Constructor, it will be called by using the class name. Okay, sorry. Constructor has to be created. When you process of creating an object, the constructor will be executed. So which one will be executed first, constructor or method? Obviously,
Method.
hey, first constructor will be executed and then method will be executed. I mean, if you don't call inside the constructor that method. Cha, 1 second. Wait, let me tell you. This is the constructor. Okay, so this is the constructor you have. So my question is which one will be executed first? First constructor only will be
Static block.
executed. Because in the process of object creation, the constructor will be executed. So first constructor will be executed, and then you call the method by using the object name, then the method will be executed here. Got it? So this is what it has been there. So before the method, you want to initialize something. Before the method, you want to do something. Then that time you go for the constructor. Okay. Let me show you one framework here. Okay. So this is the page class. So where do you use constructor in your framework? Okay, where do you use constructor in your framework? So how do you know that where is the constructor in my class? So constructor name, class name should be same. So here constructor name, this is the class name. Both are same here. If you see, both are same here. This is a constructor name and this is the class name. Both are same here. So what I am doing before when the class is loaded, first when the class is loaded, what it will be doing, you have to create an object, right? To call the methods or to call anything, you have to create an object. In the process of object creation, before the method execution, the constructor will be executed. So for the WebDriver, see here, what you're doing, you are initializing your web elements that you are doing in the constructor only. That you're doing inside the constructor only. Got it, team? Because first the web elements need to be initialized. Then only you can call the methods. What I'm trying to tell is like, if you want to initialize your web elements, if you want to initialize the driver, you can do it in the constructor only. Got it? Got
Yes.
it?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Priyanka, one doubt. Actually, I was in between office meeting. That final keyword we have explaining, right?
mm,
Could you tell me once? Because
yeah,
I was in between office meeting at that time.
yeah. We'll talk about that at the end of the class. Okay. So, okay. So this is the static method, and yeah, this is the constructor. Sorry. Yeah. So let's say what I'm trying to tell is like in your framework, you want to, before the method execution, you want to do anything. Like here, I want to write the WebDriver initialization code here. Okay. After WebDriver initialization, I want to WebDriver initialization code you write here, and you maximize the screen here. Okay, you maximize the screen here, and then here you write your driver.find elements or anything. Okay, so before this method, this WebDriver should be there, right? Your WebDriver should be initialized. Okay, and the screen can be maximized, and then you open that driver.get. Okay, then that one driver.get your maybe your URL or anything here. Okay, then only you can do the driver.find element. That means your requirement is first the constructor should be executed, then the method should come. At that time, your requirement is to please create the constructor in your class. At that time, first the constructor will be executed. WebDriver initialization will be done. It will maximize the screen. It will load your URL, and then you call the method explicitly, and then whatever the code you have written in the method, that will be executed. That is how you have to follow the structure, and that is how you have to utilize this constructor in your framework. It's not like simply knowing what is constructor and everything. You have to know that where to utilize and how to utilize. Got it?
Priyanka.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. So now, okay, Priyanka, now what you have to understand is like where you are using variables, why we are using variables, what is a memory allocation, we understood. What do you mean by methods, we understood. What do you mean by constructors, where we have to use, how we have to use, that is also we have understood. Now come to the last topic of the day, that is static blocks. Okay, that is static blocks. What do you mean by the static blocks in Java? Static block is nothing but a small piece of code that runs only once when the class gets loaded into the memory. How do you create the static blocks? So this is how the static blocks. Okay, this is how the static blocks here. Okay, this is how the static blocks here. Okay, so okay, Priyanka, we have a method, we have a constructor. Why again static blocks in Java? Yeah, that will come into the picture. So static block is nothing but a small piece of code that will run only when the class gets loaded into the memory. Why? Because as we already discussed, static means when the class is loaded, memory will be allocated to the static blocks. Memory will be allocated to the static blocks. When the class is loaded, memory will be allocated to the static blocks. You don't need to create an object to run the static blocks. For constructor, you need to create an object. For method, you have to create an object and you have to call explicitly that method. But for the static blocks, you no need to create an object. Okay, and you no need to call that static. It runs automatically. How it will runs automatically, Priyanka, is like when the class is loaded, first class will load, right? Then only it will come to the main method. When the class will load, it will check like any static blocks is there in my class. Yes, it is there. Then it will get the memory. The static blocks will get memory allocated, and then these static blocks will be loaded. Then these static blocks will be loaded. See, got it? Got it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. In layman, imagine like your class is a like house. When the house is open for the first time, the lights are turned on automatically. The turning on lights is like a static blocks. So it turns on one time. When the class is open, when the door is open, the lights on. So similarly way, when the class is loaded, the static blocks will be executed. Okay, static blocks will be executed before the main method. Why, Priyanka? Every time you told that inside the main method, whatever we have written, that will be executed. Yes, correct. But here, from the memory point of view, first the class will be loaded. When the class will be loaded, the memory will be allocated to the static blocks. So first the static blocks will be executed. Right, team?
Yes.
Okay. So where we use static blocks in our framework, where can we use static blocks in our framework is like, before the constructor. Okay, before the constructor, you want to execute something. Before the constructor, you want to execute something. Like, let's say your configurable properties, you want to read. You want to read your configurable properties. Okay, so you write the code here, load the properties. Okay, load the properties here. Okay, you are loading the properties here in the static blocks. Got it? So static blocks runs only once. So the configuration is loaded only once. Got it, team? Got it?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a use of the static block. So we use static blocks to perform the task that should run only once in your framework, like loading the configuration files, initializing the constants, all these things that comes into the static blocks. Got it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what it has been there. So now let's say the last topic, instance block. What do you mean by instance blocks in your instance block? Instance block is also similarly like a static block. Okay, but you have to create you have to create in this way the instance block. Okay, instance block. Okay, instance block. So what is the difference, Priyanka? Is like instance blocks will be executed during the object creation. So new instance blocks will be executed during the object creation. So this what new obj equal to new obj, new obj equal to new new. Okay, so now what it will happen? So in the process of object creation, okay, in the process of object creation, before the constructor execution, remember this, these are the expected interview questions in your companies. Most of the time people will ask, okay, so they'll be asking so before this is a constructor, before the constructor execution, before the constructor execution, the instance blocks will be executed. The instance blocks will be executed. Got it, team? So instance block will be executed when the object is created. When the object is created, the instance blocks will be executed. Got it? Got it?
Yes, yes,
This
yes.
is a static
Yeah.
block, right?
Huh?
This is a static block, right? Like, is
Yeah,
there
first
any
one is the
difference?
static block.
And where is the instance block? Like,
This is the instance block.
so how we are differing? It means it is
How we
okay.
are
So
differing it, like static blocks will be having with the static keywords. Instance
Hmm.
blocks, this is a syntax. This is a syntax. Instance block syntax is this is what? Whatever you write between these two, this is the instance
Okay.
blocks. This is the instance blocks. That's it. So constructor logics are specified to the objects. Instance blocks logic is common for all the objects. Okay, instance blocks are executed every time the object creation, the instance blocks will be executed. Got it, team?
So if we have multiple instance blocks, plus, which one will execute first?
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to the point. So now you have a multiple instance blocks here. Okay. So how you create the instance block in the same sequence, it will execute. First this one, and second this one, and third this one. You got my point.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And if we create multiple objects, all these three blocks in this case will execute 3 times.
Yes, yes, yes. I'll tell you one more thing. So okay, so this is the interview questions. So okay. Now this is the interview question. Okay, so you have a static block. Okay, you have a static block here. Okay, static block is been expecting that static block has been there. Instance blocks. Okay, and you have the one constructor and you have one main method. Okay, now someone raise your hands. Who know the answer, please raise your hand. What is the output? What is the order of the output in this way? And these are the questions would be asking in the interviews. Okay, so what is the order of execution now and why? Okay,
First static block will execute.
who is that?
Naresh.
Naresh, wait, let me choose one more person. Yeah, Umesh, can you tell? Umesh, you there?
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead and tell what is
This one, it seems like a static block
okay,
at first,
okay.
then uh, instance block.
Okay, what I told you, first do not get into these code. Okay, so always you have to go to the main method. Okay,
Yeah.
so first what it will be happening here? First, what it will be happening here, Umesh? First, a class will be loaded. When the class is loaded, JVM will tell that, okay, class is loaded. So memory will be allocated to the static blocks. Is there any static blocks? Yes, it is there. Let me execute these first. Okay, done. Then it will come to the main method. In the main method, what is there? This is the class name. This is the object you are creating. So when you are creating the object, before this constructor execution, the instance blocks will be executed. So how the instance blocks will be executed? How you created? The same order it will be executed. So second, this one. Okay, third, this one. And then fourth, this one. Okay, fine. And then it is coming to the constructor. In the constructor, where it is going? First it is going to here, and then it is redirecting to the this keyword. So then it will print first cons. It will print first cons one, and then it will print to cons. Got it?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So these kind of n number of questions we have discussed, and when you're strong in all these things, so you can answer very well in the interview. Okay, I will keep you the another coding questions, that is constructor exam link also. I'll show you these one. So I'll paste you in the group. Okay. So whatever you know, you please write. Rest of the things you can do. So Okay. So see, how many constructors in Java? I think you can answer this. What is a constructor and how it is different from a method? You can answer this. So this is output of the code. I think this is also you can do. And static blocks versus instance blocks versus constructor. Which one will be executed first? That also you can exist. Like, and then constructor overloading means when you have the multiple constructors. So then how it is there? Multiple static blocks. Then what is the execution order? Constructor calling another constructor using this keyword. What is output? Okay. Similarly, you have all these kind of questions like, 18 questions you have. You have to work on all these questions. So Priyanka has explained the concept. Priyanka has explained some interview questions. Now you write the coding exams. You feel like more confident. And at the weekend, again, we have the mock interview. So I'll ask you to share the screen and write what is a code, these output. And then you feel very confident about what are the concepts we have completed. Okay. So when you attend the interviews, again, no need to dig into the YouTube or again, a Google or any chat GPT questions for this one. Okay, team? Okay, it's interview preparation batch is not only interview questions. We are understanding the concept and parallelly we are covering the interview questions for the particular topic. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I hope you.
Priyanka, I
Yeah,
missed some of
I'll
the
come to
point.
the questions. I'll come to the questions. So,
Okay.
okay, I hope you understand the concept, guys. So kindly keep in the same WhatsApp group. So you will be getting the recordings. As I shown you, please go to your regular WhatsApp groups. So when you go to your WhatsApp group here, when you go to your WhatsApp group here, you can see the WhatsApp group description, the drive link. When you open this drive, you can see in the drive, you have the recordings. Okay, you have the recordings and everything. See, coding exam links, Java notes, recordings, and course summary. Everything you will be having here. Okay, and complete your coding exam links. That will come to know how much you have understand the concept. Okay. Thank you guys and sorry for the delay today. It's 15 minutes late. So by 10 we will end up the session and yeah, and thank you for supporting and staying in the call for so long. And I hope you like the session. I know it's very tough to take the basic concepts and explain because most of the people will think like these are very basics, Priyanka. I know, but I think I have explained in a very well these basic concepts also because you have to understand from the memory perspective, from the scope perspective, and how do you use this framework. Now, let's say when you go through your framework, let's say there is a constructor and inside the constructor, they are using this keyword. So you should know that, why they are using this keyword. And in every page object model, first inside the constructor, they're calling the, page elements dot init. Why they are doing that? So you should understand the concept, not only the definition. That is what I mean. Okay. So yeah, thank you guys. I'll stop the recording. If anyone have any questions, kindly stay in the call and raise your hands. I'll ask you to unmute and then we'll discuss. Others who are very clear with the session, they can leave the session. Thank you guys. Have a nice day. Tomorrow we'll meet again with the new session. We'll start with the OOPS concepts. Okay. Thank you. Bye.